So every single day around the globe, approximately 200 million animals are forced into slaughterhouses for nothing more than a food preference, not out of any nutritional need. We don't have to consume the flesh or secretions of animals to be healthy. In fact, a whole foods plant-based diet is the best diet for human health. Can even help significantly reduce your risk of cancer and heart disease, two of the leading causes of death. And every day here in the United States alone, 30 million animals are forced into slaughterhouses. So yeah, you can't claim to be an animal lover if you're not vegan, because you're literally paying people to abuse and kill all kinds of animals all day long. And it's not just the cows and pigs and chickens and fish who are intentionally being killed for your food preferences. It's also wild animals like wild American horses. Every year, the government, with our own tax dollars, round up thousands and thousands of wild American horses on behalf of the animal agriculture industry, because wild American horses compete with livestock for grazing land. They're also killing off the wolves, cougars, bears, bobcats, coyotes, lynxes, foxes, because those animals are a threat to livestock. So yeah, you can't claim to be an animal lover if you're not vegan, because you're like the animal's worst enemy. You're literally having these animals killed. So you might be a dog lover, you might be a cat lover, but you're certainly not an animal lover. If you're literally paying people to abuse and kill animals all day long, you're their worst enemy. And you can't claim to be a nature lover if you're not vegan, because, you're supporting an industry that's literally destroying the planet, causing the 6th mass extinction. And no, God did not make animals for us to eat. Right there on the very first page of the Bible, Genesis 1:29. And God said, "Behold, I have given you every herb-bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed, to you it shall be for meat." Isaiah 11:6-9, the wolf will lay with the lamb, and there will be no more harm. Romans 14:21, it is good not to eat flesh. Thou shalt not kill means be vegan. Well, it's interesting people use the Bible to justify atrocities, when, like, slaughterhouses are the most unholy places on the planet. So yeah, if you're saying that God put animals here for us to eat, what you're saying is God is the reason why slaughterhouses exist. Again, slaughterhouses are the most unholy places on the planet. Yes, we are meant to be vegan. Right there on the very first page of the Bible, Genesis 1:29. And God said, "Behold, I have given you every herb-bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed, to you it shall be for meat." And do you really get the urge to pounce on a pig when you get hungry? Do you find roadkill appetizing? Yeah, there's a reason why no normal person ever gets the urge to pounce on a pig when they get hungry. There's a reason why no normal person sees a dead animal on the side of the road and thinks about, cooking that animal up for dinner. And yeah, there's also a reason why thousands of people drop dead prematurely every single day from heart attacks and strokes and cancers and kidney disease and cerebrovascular disease. Because we are not true meat eaters. These things cause all kinds of health issues. Eating meat, dairy, and eggs, they lead to some of the most deadly health conditions known to man. Again, if you were a true meat eater, you would be pouncing on those animals yourself without hesitation, just like any other true omnivore or carnivore does. And yeah, the very first step in producing animal products the very first step in producing animal products is they literally masturbate male animals to collect their semen so that they can force that semen into the vaginas of unconsenting female animals. That's sexual assault. That is bestiality. And that is exactly what you are funding every single time you consume a non-vegan product. You're literally handing your money over to an industry that sexually abuses animals. They call it artificial insemination, but it's not. It's not. Artificial insemination is when a woman is having difficulty conceiving and she seeks the assistance of a doctor. When a farmer masturbates a bull, when a farmer masturbates a pig, when a farmer masturbates a rooster to collect their semen, that is sexual assault. And it's bestiality. Because, you know, the very definition of bestiality is sexual relations between a human and an animal. And let me show you a screenshot of what I'm talking about. That's because it actually is what they're doing to these animals. But this right here is a screenshot that I took of an instructional video. This was an instructional video put out by the pork industry demonstrating how they collect semen from a male pig. This is a human, that is an animal. She's literally masturbating him until he ejaculates. That is absolutely sexual assault. Nobody in their right mind should be touching anybody's private parts without their consent. And just because this is a pig and he can't consent, that's just disgusting that anybody would say that it's okay to do this to him because, oh, he's a pig, he can't consent. So, oh, he enjoys it. Oh, that's creepy. That is really creepy that there are people literally here defending this behavior. Literally defending people masturbating animals. And again, even if this pig did consent, this is still bestiality. That's just creepy. That's just so creepy. So, you know, you need to stay away from children because you know what? Children can't consent either. And they could actually say, yes, they want to have sex, but they can't consent. A child cannot give consent to have sex. So even if they say yes, they legally cannot give consent. And that's very disturbing that you don't understand that. Because you clearly don't understand that. When you're like, oh, he's enjoying it. He don't mind. So you're saying if a child says, yes, I'll have sex, then it's okay. No, it's not. No, it's not. That's really disturbing that you don't understand that. That you need to have actual consent, okay, from an adult of your same species. Okay? Oh my God, this is a sick, sick world we live in. Well, if you're old enough to be on TikTok, you should be old enough to understand that it's not okay to sexually assault anyone. And this animal is being sexually assaulted. And yes, they sexually assault the females too, because what they're going to do is they're going to take his semen and they're going to force this semen into the vaginas of numerous, dozens, if not hundreds, of female pigs. Yeah, if you were to shove semen into a woman's vagina without her consent, I hope you realize that that would also be a crime of sexual assault. Yeah, that's just so disturbing. And that, yeah, if you would still, steal her baby from her, that would be a crime of kidnapping. And if you were to kill her baby, that would be a crime of, if you're doing the same exact things to humans that are being done to these animals, they would be crimes of rape, kidnapping, theft, and murder. What are you even talking about? This is not being done to help these animals in any way whatsoever. This is not being done to help these animals in any way. This very sinister thing is being done for an even more sinister purpose of getting these animals to reproduce so that their babies can be stolen from them, mutilated, forced to live in an overcrowded, shit-filled shed in such filth they have to be given antibiotics just to keep them from dying, to then be forced screaming into a slaughterhouse. Well, it's just so creepy that people are on here literally defending this behavior. But yeah, for those civilized, decent, rational people watching my live stream right now, understand why you need to go vegan and why you need to go vegan immediately. I mean, it's imperative that you go vegan. It is imperative that if you are a good, decent human being, it's imperative that you go vegan right now, because if you continue to consume animal products, you are now a knowing and willing participant in bestiality and the sexual assault of animals. And I'm proving that to you right now. And just look at these comments from these people who probably are, in the industry themselves. That's why they're defending this disgusting behavior, because they're the ones in this disgusting industry. Yeah, just look at some of these nasty comments. Like, these people actually think this is okay to do to an animal. Yeah, so if you're here literally saying this is okay, you're literally telling me that you would do this to an animal? That you would take an animal's penis and just, masturbate them until they ejaculate? Really? That's creepy. That is creepy. Yes, this is definitely sexual assault. These animals are being sexually violated. You should not be putting your hands on anybody's private parts without their consent. And again, this is not being done to benefit these animals in any way whatsoever. This is being done for a very, very sinister purpose of forcing them to reproduce so that their babies can be stolen from them, mutilated. Like in the case of pigs, they literally take the piglets and they cut their tails off, they clip their ears, they clip their teeth, they castrate the males without any anesthesia, and then they force them to live in overcrowded, shit-filled sheds in such filth they have to be given antibiotics just to keep them from dying from the filth they're forced to live in. Then they're forced onto a transport truck, crammed onto a transport truck. They fit as many animals on those transport trucks as possible. And these animals are forced to travel for hours with no food, no water. They're shitting, they're pissing on each other. In the wintertime, a lot of animals end up freezing to death on those transport trucks. In the summertime, a lot of animals end up dying of heat exhaustion. It's estimated that in the United States, every single year, approximately 20 million animals die on those transport trucks. 20 million animals each year in the United States alone die on those transport trucks on the way to the slaughterhouse. Most of those animals are dying either, from heat exhaustion in the summertime, or they freeze to death in the wintertime. I've seen undercover footage of chickens on those transport trucks, frozen to death, arriving at the slaughterhouse, frozen to death. No, I don't kill any animals. I don't kill. See, that's what you're not understanding. There are non-lethal methods of pest control. But of course you're not vegan, so you don't give a fuck whether animals are killed or not. It's non-vegans that would actually kill animals in crop production. It's non-vegans, because a vegan wouldn't kill an animal. A vegan would be using non-lethal methods of pest control, like pepper spray, sonic devices, laser devices, fencing, netting. It's not a requirement to kill animals in crop production. There's veganic farming, vertical farming. You can grow your own food. I grow lots of fruit trees. I do not use any pest control. I don't have any pest problems, but if I did, I would absolutely use non-lethal methods of pest control. I don't kill any animals at all. But just know that more crops have to be produced to feed livestock than need to be produced to feed humans directly. So whatever animals are being killed in crop production, multiply that by roughly 10. 10 times more animals are being killed in crop production, producing the crops needed to feed livestock. Then you're having all the animals, whose flesh and secretions you eat intentionally killed, plus wild animals intentionally killed because they compete with livestock for grazing land, like the wild American horse is, or because they are a threat to livestock, like wolves, cougars, bears, bobcats, coyotes, lynxes, foxes. Yeah, so non-vegans are actually causing the 6th mass extinction. Non-vegans are literally causing the 6th mass extinction. Animal agriculture is causing the 6th mass extinction. Animal agriculture is the leading cause of deforestation. Every single second, approximately an acre of land is cleared. And it's being cleared mainly to graze and grow food for livestock. Like those fires in the Amazon, mostly are intentionally set by cattle ranchers because it's a quick and easy way to clear the land to graze cattle. So yeah, just imagine how many animal species are being killed as an acre of land is slashed and burned per second. Imagine how many species of plants are being killed as an acre of land is being slashed and burned per second, mainly to graze and grow food for livestock. On top of the millions upon millions of animals intentionally killed every single year because they compete with livestock for grazing land, like wild American horses and prairie dogs. In Australia, they kill about 2 million kangaroos each year because kangaroos compete with livestock for grazing land. So they're being annihilated. And then they're killing off the wolves, cougars, bears, bobcats, coyotes, lynxes, foxes, because those animals are a threat to livestock. Yeah, but for those of you just tuning in, this is a screenshot of an instructional video put out by the pork industry demonstrating how they collect semen from pigs. Yeah, because this is the very first step in producing bacon. Yep, believe it or not, this is true. You gotta wonder, why have you not been taught this before? Why have you not been taught this? Reporting me for what? Literally stating facts about the standard practices of the animal agriculture industry? Well, you know, if you're reporting this, I hope you're not supporting this. I mean, I hope you're vegan. Seriously, I mean, if you're reporting this, like, why? Why exactly? If you know this is wrong, then why aren't you vegan? Then why aren't you vegan? Because if you're literally reporting me for literally telling you about the standard practices of the animal agriculture industry, what that tells me is you understand that this is wrong. You understand that this is wrong. So why on earth are you not vegan? And you know, this is never going to stop if people don't even know it's happening. So according to TikTok guidelines, we can post things like this when it's to bring awareness. And this is what this is for. I'm not glorifying this. I'm literally saying this is awful and this needs to come to an end. But how is it ever going to come to an end if people don't even understand that it's happening in the first place? So yes, I am using TikTok to raise awareness about the standard practices in the animal agriculture industry, which most people are, you know, considering about 99% of the population isn't vegan. You know, 99% of the population is actually supporting this behavior. So consumers absolutely need to know the truth. They need to know about this so that they can make educated choices and understand why they need to go vegan. Because, yeah, you're not just paying people to chop the heads off of animals. You know, I mean, that alone should get people to go vegan. Because, yeah, how can you possibly think that it's okay to chop someone's head off just because you get hungry and you don't want to eat something plant-based, which actually happens to be much, much healthier for you, yourself. It's not just better for the animals for you to eat plant-based. It's actually better for your own health to eat plant-based. And it's also better for the health of the planet. Yes, because again, as I said earlier, animal agriculture is destroying the planet and it is causing the 6th mass extinction because animal agriculture is the leading cause of deforestation. It is the leading cause of species extinction. It is the leading cause of water pollution and water depletion and ocean dead zones and ocean plastics and fisheries depletion and pandemics and world hunger and climate change. Well, you know, if you're going to continue to make your anti-vegan comments, what you're actually saying is that this behavior is okay. So I got to ask you, would you masturbate a pig yourself? Because you're literally paying people to do this for every single non-vegan product you consume. So yeah, if you had eggs for breakfast, you literally just handed your money to an industry that masturbates roosters. Yep. So just for your breakfast, if you had eggs, you literally just handed your money over to an industry to employ somebody to masturbate a rooster, because what you're saying when you took those eggs off that store shelf to make your scrambled eggs this morning is, I want this product. So you take the product off the shelf, so they restock that item. And how they restock that item? Well, they go back to the drawing board. Step 1, they masturbate a rooster to collect his semen, to force that semen into a hen, to fertilize her eggs so that those eggs hatch into the egg-laying hens that lay the eggs on store shelves. And again, if you had bacon, you know, you just paid somebody to masturbate a pig. And, no, Report yourself. So it's good that you understand this is wrong. For you people, you know, saying that you reported me, well, at least you admit that this is wrong. So, you're vegan now, right? You're vegan now, right? Because that's really ridiculous that you're saying, oh, this is wrong. Report that lady. But then you're literally going to continue to consume animal products and you're literally going to keep on funding this behavior. You need to report yourself to the police. Yeah, I am allowed to use this app to educate people. And that's what I'm doing. That's the reason why I'm bringing this to your attention, because this is standard practice in the animal agriculture industry and most people don't know it. So how is it ever going to stop if most people don't even know what's happening in the first place? So yeah, you need to be vegan. If you're not, going forward, you are now a knowing and a willing participant in bestiality and in the sexual assault of animals. True story. True story. So yeah, it's weird that, you know, people got that vegan teacher banned, her main account, that had like 2 million followers. And they were saying what an awful person she is because, from what I understand, what she did was she did a TikTok video where she was holding all of these fruits and vegetables, and she was saying to a kid, no, report yourself. Again, report yourself. You're the one supporting this behavior, not me. I'm trying to get it to stop. So from what I understand, what got that vegan teacher banned was she did a TikTok holding a bunch of fruits and vegetables, and she was saying to a kid, I think he was like 16 or 17, like he had a crush on some girl, I think, and she was saying, oh, show her your fruits and vegetables, as in, you know, show her that you're vegan, because, you know, that's an attractive quality in people, to be vegan and, you know, to actually mean what you say when you say you're against animal abuse. That's the only way to mean what you say, is to be vegan. You can't say you're against animal abuse and continue to pay people to abuse animals. So yeah, so that's all she did, was hold a bunch of fruits and vegetables, and she said, tell her or show her your fruits and vegetables. Well, these perverts took it as like she was trying to say, show her your penis. That's not what she said. That's not what she meant. But that's the way these idiots took it. And they got her banned for that. But then it's weird that these same people who were freaking out about that vegan teacher holding a bunch of fruits and vegetables and twisting what she said, you know, are literally funding the actual sexual assault of animals. All day, every day, for every single non-vegan product you consume. Yeah. That's freaky. That is really freaky. You're literally funding bestiality. That is a fact. You are literally funding the sexual abuse of animals. That is a fact. If you're not vegan. No, I'm going to keep on bringing this to the attention of people because, yeah, look, there's only 110 people watching my live stream right now. There are literally 8 billion people on the planet. Yeah, there's still a lot of people that don't have a clue that this is happening. And this app gets new users every single day. And there's lots of, obviously, millions upon tens of millions of hundreds of millions of users who have never even come across my content yet. So I figure, I use this app. The more I use it, the more people I'll reach. And so I'm going to go over this over and over again, because this is very important that consumers understand that this is what they are supporting when they're consuming animal products, that this is the very first step. This is a fact, and people need to know it. People need to be made aware of the fact that they are literally funding bestiality when they consume animal products, that they are literally paying people to sexually abuse animals so that they can eat their babies. Yeah, because, this definitely should get people to go vegan. Yeah, seriously. Like, what person in their right mind would continue to consume animal products knowing that every time they purchase an animal product, they're really like handing their money over to an industry that employs people to do this to animals? No, I can't just let people eat what they want to eat. I got to educate people. I wish somebody would have told me the truth a lot sooner. Like, you can very easily, if you have no interest in going vegan, you can very easily ignore me, like you ignore the fact that you pay people to sexually abuse animals and to chop their babies' heads off. You very easily ignore that. Like, why can't you just ignore me if you have no interest in going vegan? People have the right to know the truth. And, yeah, so I have every right to be on this app to literally educate people about the standard practices of the animal agriculture industry. That's all I'm doing. I'm just simply stating facts about the standard practices of the animal agriculture industry, and I should be allowed to do that. And people, you should not deny reality. I mean, you should accept the fact that these animal products are being produced by doing awful, awful things to animals. So yeah, if you're against animal abuse, you absolutely need to be vegan. And nobody in their right mind should be funding the sexual abuse of anyone. Oh, and look at the comment. Would you just expire already? No. No, we don't need to eat meat. We don't need to eat animal carcasses to be healthy. It's not vegans dropping dead prematurely by the thousands each day from heart attacks and strokes and kidney disease. It's not vegans filling up hospital beds. A whole foods plant-based diet is absolutely the best diet for human health. And all plants contain protein. All plants contain protein. And beans, grains, legumes, nuts, seeds are a very good source of protein. And yes, Kendrick Ferris. Kendrick Ferris is vegan. And he is the only man from the United States to have made the Rio Olympics in weightlifting. So yeah, Kendrick Ferris is proof you don't even have to eat any animal products to become an Olympic weightlifter. So yeah, you can very easily get all the nutrients you need on a plant-based diet. Yeah, some of the top athletes are vegan. Carl Lewis. Carl Lewis won like 5 gold medals in the Olympics. Carl Lewis is vegan. Megan Duhamel. She is the only female pair skater to have landed a quad throw in the Olympics. She's been vegan since 2008. 10 years into being vegan, in 2018, she won an Olympic gold medal. And she was the only female pair skater to land a quad throw in the Olympics. The only one to attempt it, at least at that time. I don't know, since maybe somebody else has. I don't know. But at the time, she was the only woman in the Olympics to even attempt a quad throw. But she landed it too. She did it and she landed it. Yeah, like one of the most difficult No, I'm just tired. I am just tired. Tired of having to go through the same stuff over and over and over and over again. And look, Serena Williams, Venus Williams, both won Olympic golds, right? They're both plant-based. I don't know if they're vegan, but they are both on plant-based diets. Siva Johnson is the only, well, was the first. She was the first black female ski racer in Olympic history. And she has been vegan since birth. Oh. And let's not forget this vegan hater. Oh, he was a carnivore. Yeah. 0% vegetarian. Yeah, he died of a heart attack at the age of 44. Yep. Died at the age of 44 from a massive heart attack because all he ate was meat. True story. True story. Dead at 44 from a heart attack, and he proudly was a carnivore on a carnivore diet. He truly, I mean, humans are not carnivores, not even true omnivores. But yeah, he was on a carnivore diet and died at the age of 44 from a heart attack. Surprise, surprise. Now I'm just stating a fact. I'm just stating a fact. Just to make people aware that, you know, think twice before you go on a carnivore diet. Because, yeah, it's not going to probably turn out too well for you. What does this have to do with eating meat? Because all he did was eat meat. And he died at 44 of a heart attack. True story. Again, it's not vegans dying by the thousands prematurely each day from heart attacks and strokes and cancer. It's not vegans causing pandemics. Oh, at least he was happy. Like, yeah, imagine thinking like the only thing that can make a person happy is by eating animal carcasses. Yeah, he would have been happier being a vegan. I mean, he was a chef, so I mean, come on. If you're a good chef, you can make delicious vegan food. And vegan food is so much healthier, so much more environmentally sustainable, and no animals have to suffer and die. And yeah, um, you would be significantly reducing your risk of getting cancer and heart disease by going vegan. And this is my cat Pip that I adopted at an animal shelter. And yes, he loves his vegan food. And no, you cannot make a cat vegan, but you absolutely can feed them a plant-based diet. Because the vegan cat food contains all of the necessary nutrients. You know, just look at your if you have a cat or even a dog, just look at the ingredients of your cat food, of your dog food. You're going to see it's filled with supplements. Those are the same supplements they use in the vegan cat food and the vegan dog food. Taurine, which cats absolutely need or they can go blind, is naturally only found in animal flesh, but the supplement taurine is synthetic, and it's vegan, and the same taurine supplement that they put in cat food is what they put in the vegan cat food. And yeah, just look at the studies. There are studies on it too. Thousands of cats being fed a vegan diet, and they're doing just as well as any other cat. Oh, you feel bad for my cat? Like, why don't you feel bad for the cats at the animal shelters that are about to be executed because nobody came to adopt them? I mean, if you truly feel bad, yeah, go to your local animal shelter and adopt a cat at your local animal shelter that's about to be executed because nobody came to adopt them. Those are the cats you should truly feel bad for. The ones that are about to be executed for being homeless. My cat, he's healthy, he's happy. I'm not forcing him. He loves his vegan cat food. I even made a video of him eating it. And again, you can't make a cat a vegan, but you can feed them vegan cat food as long as it contains all the necessary nutrients that they need. And again, just look it up. There's studies on it. Just look it up. Thousands of cats being fed, and vegan cat food isn't a new thing. It's not. It's actually been around for a long time. I think like 2 decades or 3 decades. Vegan cat food has been around for a long, long time. Yeah, so yeah, you feel bad for my cat. Like, I don't understand. He's being fed a nutritionally complete diet. He likes his vegan cat food. It's not like he's forced to eat it. As soon as I put it down, the first time I put it, he ate it right up. Yeah, so it's just weird that you feel bad for my cat, but you don't feel bad for the cats at the animal shelters that are about to be executed because nobody came to adopt them. So yeah, why don't you go to your local animal shelter and adopt a cat if you truly feel bad. And yeah, why don't you feel bad about the animals at the slaughterhouses who are about to have their heads hacked off for your food choices? Why don't you feel bad about that? Yeah, you want to talk about animal abuse. That's animal abuse. Chopping an animal's head off, how is that not animal abuse? But you think feeding a cat a nutritionally complete diet is animal abuse. But chopping a cow's head off, that's not animal abuse. Yeah, get your story straight. And you're doing that every few hours of every day for every single non-vegan product you consume. Yeah, the very first step, because my batteries are going to die, and I'm just going to let it because I got to get to bed. Yeah, eggs. Very first step. They masturbate a rooster. Just look it up if you think I'm talking crazy, because it is crazy what they're doing to these animals. They masturbate a rooster to collect his semen, to force that semen. Now I got fur in my nose. To force the semen into the hens to fertilize their eggs so that those eggs hatch into the egg-laying hens that lay the eggs on store shelves. Yeah, so all of those egg-laying hens that lay the eggs on the store shelves that you shop at, the stores that you shop at, they all come from a hatchery. All those egg-laying hens come from a hatchery. So these hatcheries are just filled with tens of thousands of fertilized eggs. Because, yeah, those eggs or those hens came from a fertilized egg, obviously. And how they fertilize those eggs that hatch into the egg-laying hens that lay the eggs on store shelves. They masturbate a rooster to collect his semen. They force that semen into a hen to fertilize her eggs. Then at the hatcheries, where all those eggs hatch, they cannot determine the sex of the chicks until they hatch. So upon hatching, they determine which ones are males, which ones are females. And all of the males they put on a conveyor belt, like this right here. This is a screenshot of male chicks being dumped into a macerator. This is what happens to those male chicks as soon as they hatch at those hatcheries where all the egg-laying hens come from. They are dumped into a macerator and ground up alive because they obviously don't lay eggs because they're boys. And this breed of bird is not the same breed used for meat. This breed does not grow quick enough or big enough to be profitable for meat. So they're ground up alive as soon as they hatch and they're disposed of. Not chicken nuggets, no. They're ground up alive and disposed of. This is not the same breed used for meat. Yeah, but you like chicken nuggets? They have plant-based chicken nuggets. The plant-based chicken nuggets actually taste better. I mean, imagine that. Imagine the nuggets made from plants actually taste better than the nuggets made from a rotting chicken carcass. From a chicken that literally marinated in a shit-filled dungeon in such filth they had to be given antibiotics to keep them from dying. Well, you're not understanding what is really going on. So what country do you live in? Your dad that works at the hatcheries? Because unless, maybe your dad lives in Italy, maybe France, maybe Germany. There's like 4 countries. I think France, Italy, Germany, and then one other country where they actually have a way of making all of those eggs hatch into females. But that's not happening here in the United States. It's not happening in Canada. It's not happening anywhere in South America or Australia. Just 4 countries in Europe: Italy, Germany, France, and one other country. But You know, the females, the egg-laying hens, would have probably been better off ground up alive on day one too, because they're literally forced to produce 10 times more eggs than is natural. That puts a lot of stress on their bodies, causing a lot of health issues. Most of these birds are crammed into cages where they can barely move. They're kept like that their whole life. And even the free-range egg-laying hens, all free-range means is that they're not kept in cages, but they're still kept in overcrowded, shit-filled sheds in such filth they have to be given antibiotics, and they're kept that way their whole life. So their whole life is pure misery. So they probably would have been better ground up alive on day one. Yeah, so eggs are animal abuse. Eggs are animal abuse. Dairy is animal abuse. If it's not vegan, it is animal abuse. True story. True story. So go vegan or you're literally funding animal abuse. If you pay the hitman, you are the murderer. You are an animal abuser. If you're paying people to abuse animals so you can eat them, so you can consume their secretions, so you can wear their skin, you're an animal abuser. If you pay the hitman, you are the murderer.